What's good, everybody? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy, TheWavMan, man. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to record like a professional. And I'm talking about all the way from being an engineer to the artist, all the way to understanding and getting prepared to getting the best mix and master possible. Now, why is recording one of the most important phases when it comes to this entire process? Because listen, you can turn gold to but you can't turn to gold. It's easier to turn something that is decently recorded to something better rather than if you have a terrible starting point, it's very, very hard to take that to the next level. But what I'm gonna be showing you guys here today is how to make sure that you get this right from the beginning so that you can get the best product at the end, all right? So let's dive right into it. So for this instance, we're gonna be talking about a 2-track, but nonetheless, this applies whether you're using a 2-track or you're using a full stemmed out beat, is gain staging. Now, when people send me over mixes or they send me over tracks to actually master, I find that this is the reason why a lot of people initially aren't getting the best sounds, because they're not thinking about the gain structure in their entirety of their mix. So let's go ahead and start looking at the channels and the effects that are actually on the track. Now, for instance, most people, when they get a beat off of YouTube or they get a beat from a producer, you're gonna most likely see that this beat is fully mastered, meaning it is hitting that level of pretty much 0. Now, the problem with that is when you're recording over top of it, you're not gonna have any headroom if you do not bring that back some levels. So the number one thing we're gonna wanna do is gain stage this beat in order to trim off some of these levels so that we have actual headroom. So let's watch the levels on this beat with no gain staging. As you can see, when we're looking at this L2 Ultra Maximizer, aka a limiter, you can see that it's hitting literally 0 every single time, which is showing you this beat is fully mastered. So if you just went ahead and started recording over top of this beat, you're gonna be automatically pushing things over that distortion level where you're gonna start introducing a lot of bad and unwanted distortion and noise before you've even started. So what we're gonna do right now, guys, is I'm gonna show you, we're gonna use a plugin inside of Pro Tools that's called Trim. So let's go ahead and add our trim and see how the limiter is reacting. Huge difference. Now, me, I like to go anywhere from -6 to -12 dBs of gain reduction when it comes to a 2-track, but in this case, we'll just leave it here at -6. But as you can see in the limiter, we've got our headroom back. And now we have it at a level where we can actually process our vocals in our entire mix without introducing distortion. Now, number 2, the second thing that we're gonna wanna do when we're getting our best vocal recording in, we're gonna wanna make sure that we're in key and we're on time. So those are the 2 things we're gonna have to find out: the BPM and the key and scale of the actual beat. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and use the auto key from Auto-Tune. This is just very fast, something to put right on here, but we can also use a plugin called Mixed in Key. Now, the good thing about Mixed in Key is it actually allows to throw the beat inside, in which it'll both give you the BPM and the key and scale of the song. But the way that I find myself doing it most of the times is with the auto key and just going with this. So let's go ahead and run this and simply get the key and scale of. And as you can see, we're getting the B minor, which is already set to my session. So I'm gonna leave it just like that, all right? And that's pretty much it for step 2. Now, step 3, I find is very, very important, which comes to the levels of your vocals. Now, why are your recording levels so important? Well, because if it's too low, you could be introducing noise from your room, from your actual equipment, and just noise in general if it's too low, opposed to just getting the strong vocal recording. Now, if it's too loud, what happens? It could be hitting too hot to where you're bringing in distortion from your vocals. You're probably just losing a lot of the audio information when you're actually going too hot into the microphone and you're just distorting, basically clipping out your audio samples that are needed to get the most accurate information from your analog voice to the DAW. But before we actually start recording and getting into our levels, another thing that is very, 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 very important into any session when it comes to artists being in the studio, yourself, or an artist you're recording, is making sure that they sound good when they're hearing themselves. So make sure that you have a preset. Always, always, always have a preset. Something that you feel comfortable recording through every time you go in the studio, because you don't want to be setting up a new session every single time you get in the studio. So make sure you have one of your favorite presets ready, locked, and loaded when you're starting to record. Now, you can make this on your own, or you can head to wavemonopoly.com that supports this channel, where you can get presets in any type of DAW that you work in. FL Studios, Ableton, Logic, Studio One, GarageBand, whatever you could think of, we have it up there in both stock plugins with the plugins that come with your DAW by itself, or you can get it in our Waves version using Waves plugins. But nonetheless, guys, make sure you have a preset ready to go so you sound good when you start hitting that record button. What if I told you a simple drag and drop can have your music sounding like this?
Just let me know when you're ready. You right about that, keep it steady. I make sure you K like I'm heady.
Or like this.
How to hop up out that whip, I had to cop me some courage. You was driving in that lamb, I was whipping in that yours.
Or like this.
Honey, you saved my mind, just in case that I need ya.
Or like this.
What kind of lady you are? I swear you shine like a star. I bet your mama was a freak. Me and your daddy was a ball player for sure.
I'm sure you get it by now. Now, if you're trying to save money, time, and actually get the sound that you're looking for, the Wave Monopoly vocal presets are exactly for you. Now, these presets come in a bunch of different DAWs like FL Studios, Logic, Pro Tools, Studio One, GarageBand, you name it, it's there in both Waves and stock versions. That means you don't have to have a bunch of extra plugins for it to work for you. And once you get it, it's yours forever. So if you're trying to level up your sound and get your vocal quality right, head to wavemonopoly.com and let's make them hits. Now, the next step, we're going to make sure that we're not dealing with latency. So when you're looking at your session, you're going to want to make sure that you understand and know kind of which plugins take up more processing power than others. So when you know these things, right, for instance, virtual mix rack, that's a no-no on my devices when it comes to recording. So you're going to see on my vocal chain that you're looking at right here, you're not going to see any of that on there, okay? Now, the fresh air works, that's fine, but I'm talking about the virtual mix rack. Another thing that you have to really understand, like I said, the fab filter limiter, it's not gonna, you feel me? So the master chain is gonna have to be slim as well, which is why you're pretty much just seeing me working with the L2 Ultra Maximizer. But I'm not going to be able to work with the things that's going to allow me to be able to get the sound that I want the most efficiently, right? And number two, we're going to want to make sure that in this case, in Pro Tools, we're going to go to our setup and our playback engine and make sure that we're working at a good buffer size that's going to make sure it's going to give us the least latency. The lowest possible level that you can get on your computer, in my case, is a 64 running but pretty good session size. So 64 samples, but I can also record at 128, which I recommend. But just get it to the lowest sample size that you can get it to. And then when you're in your mixing stage, you can bring it back up to get the most processing power, okay? So we're going to always want to make sure that our auto tune also is using the use low latency mode, okay, guys? Use low latency mode. This is also going to help with that. So let's get right into this. Bang, dang, dang. You know what time it is, man. Let's get it. So I'm pretty much running out of breath. So I'm catching my breath right now. I'm figuring out how I need to be singing this song. So when I'm recording, I like to make it super, super quick and efficient. So all you're going to basically be seeing me doing is a bunch of Command Z's to get rid of it and Command Space. Okay, Command Z, Command Space. Recording, stop. Don't like it, I might record over it. Stop, space bar, stop. Command Z to get that out of here. Command Z to get that out of here. Okay, just quick keys. Okay, guys. So whatever DAW you're working in, have your quick keys ready so that you're able to keep the groove, keep the vibe, and keep recording. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Decent. Honey, now you say my massage just in case that I need ya. You play the back, you don't care if no one see ya. You grip my waist, I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now. Bow. Honey, now you say my massage just in case that I need ya. You play the back, you don't care if no one see ya. You grip my waist, I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now. Honey, now you say my massage just in case that I need ya. You play the back, you don't care if no one see ya. You grip my waist, I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now. Honey, now you say my massage just in case that I need ya. You play the back, you don't care if no one see ya. You grip my waist, I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now. I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now. I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now.
Now, as you can see, we just cranked out the lead vocal for the pre-hook, okay? Now, as you can see, I was making sure that I was in pocket with everything because when we're recording, we want to make sure of two things. The two things I think is most important is to make sure you're getting the emotion behind every single one of those words, and then number two, making sure that you're in the pocket. Now, in the pocket is making sure you're on beat where you want to be in that beat, making sure it fits in nice and the timing doesn't feel rushed or anything like that, right? We don't want it to sound rushed. I find rushed means and shows immaturity or very novice or beginning level recording, right? We don't want to rush our words. We want it to sound good. So we just laid the first pre-hook. Let's go ahead and lay the actual hook of this. And let's get right into it.
Reach ya, honey, now. No, they can't but feel when I stay with ya. No, I don't trust them if I stay with ya. Reach ya, honey, now. No, they can't but feel when I stay with ya. When I don't trust them if I stay with ya. When the odds are against me, my face is ya.
Now, I just cranked out the main part of the hook. Now, as you can see, when I got to the second half of it, I wasn't feeling the same energy and vibe that I got from the first half. So in this case, because I know I'm just repeating the same thing, I'm just going to go ahead and actually place this right behind it to get that same professional take that I just got, because I think that this take sounds good. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this over because this is the same wording that we're using for the second part of it. So now that we got that copied over in my template, I like to have a record track and then an actual kind of a commit track to where I like the sound of these vocals. So let's go ahead and move these down to the actual track. What we're gonna do right now to fill this in, let's just go ahead and fill in our background vocals. It fills in that space within that hook. And then we're just gonna throw it in the preset and give it that effect that we're looking for really quickly, which is why I say always have a preset ready to go that has your favorite effects, your favorite vocal chains, and let's just go ahead and show you what this looks like.
Honey, baby, you say by my side just in case that I need ya. You play the back, you don't care, no one say ya. You grip my waist, I take that case if I reach ya. Honey, now, baby, no they can't but feel better stay with ya. Baby, when I don't trust them, if I stay with ya. Baby, when the odds are against me, my face is ya.
So as you can hear, we just recorded our actual background vocals. Let's go ahead and just throw this down in the preset, ready to go for my favorite background vocals for this type of sound. Let's go ahead and just throw it back in the background. Now, We bring this down because we want to commit it. Let's listen to what this sounds like.
Baby, oh baby.
Bring the beat back. I'm sure y'all get the point, man. Let's get into it. Let's get to the verse. Make sure when you go into the studio, make sure that you have your stuff rehearsed. If you're not a writer, you like to punch in, make sure you're there. Make sure you're ready to punch in. And when you're punching in, just rapping your stuff and you're making the lyrics as you're making the song, make sure you're able to deliver it with emotion behind it, because that's what 90% of this is, making sure you're sounding how you actually want it to sound. So let's get into it. Let's try to get this verse cranked out.
If I don't carry you with me, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It don't matter where I'm at, you know I keep you super close. You know this, in them trenches I'm too focused. In them trenches I'm too focused. Windows tinted, can't fish boat this. In them trenches I'm too focused. Sounding like the US Open, sounding like the US Open. Fish boat is sounding like the US Open. Trigger fish boat is sounding like the US Open. Trigger finger touching you, you boxing, and I know they dozing, going up and down with all that smoke we blowing. 1942 put me in the mood so we can do what we do. Just us two, just us two. We do.
Now that we have these two, okay, these are kind of like a bridge-ish type of vocal. We're gonna throw that quickly in this preset. It's kind of like a delay throw type of situation where it's in effect.
Just to
and then from there, since we've recorded the verse and the actual hook, we can now fly the hook, which basically means duplicating and taking your first hook and just copying it over to the second, third, fourth, whatever, however many hooks you have, is just basically duplicating that over. So that's how to record vocals like a professional and having headroom to make sure that you're able to get the mixing side of it ready. All right. Now, you already know what time it is, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You already know who it is, man. It's the TheWavMan, and we're coming back with another video soon. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that notification button. You already know what time it is, man. So let's go ahead and listen to the final track and see what we got from this recording session, man. Let's get right into I'm too focused. Windows tinted, can't fish boat this. Sounding like the US Open. Trigger finger touching you, you boxing, and I know